Oh no, it's just... Let's do it. Since I'm here anyway. Dog trainer. Train your first Gascon unit. This is my first Gascon unit. Maybe I should build every copy of a car, one copy of every card first. Also, I want to remove my medics and my blacksmiths. There. I also... Why do I only have 4 traps? I should have 5 traps. What's up with that? Who did that? Already maxed out? Already maxed out, already maxed out. Maxed out, probably. I can't enter fast enough. See, foragers are actually useful now that I run out of room on the battlefield. I still don't think I can get any. Already got enough of those. I'm gonna make everything. Still have tons of resources left over. What? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, there's my achievement. Machivo. Own at least one copy of each non-Reynard. One big happy family. Yeah. Get in there. Alright. Pretty sure I have 5 copies of everything now. So let's make sure. Yeah. Alright. Slingers, 5. Cool. Sweet beans. Sweet beans? Cool beans? That's fine. Where am I going now? There's something for me to loot right here. Oh, there it is. So far, I haven't done a very good job of digging up any of the treasures from the maps I've found. Oh, this looks like a place. Should be around here. Yeah. Speak of the devil. for the multiplayer game Evo of Belhaven. Or Ivo? Evo or Ivo? Ivo, no. What fort do we assail now?
Meve spied the outline of Malabon Castle on the horizon and turned dour. True, no golden suns waved atop its towers, yet that did not mean those within supported her. Malabon belonged to House Obert, long in conflict with Meve's own, and with Meve herself.
Behind their ramparts. Do you see them, Reynard?
Asked Meve, shaking her head.
Countless ballistae, collecting dust, while war rages all around.
Perhaps the Oberts will lend us aid,
Reynard replied.
True, you've been at odds with them in the past, but perhaps now, faced with a common foe.
A common foe?
Snorted the Queen.
You mean Nilfgaard, to whom they opened their gates? Caldwell, whom they supported?
For they were convinced the Empire would win this war, and resistance pointless. Yet you have shown all the North the Blackclads can be defeated. So perhaps they shall forget old wrongs.
The things I do for the good of my realm.
Meve sighed.
So be it. Reynard, send a runner to the castle. Tell the Oberts their queen seeks a word.
Moments later, the castle's heavy iron gate creaked open. Meve rode into the cobblestone courtyard, where Margravine Greta, head of the house, greeted her. Although, greeted is perhaps not the right word, for Lady Greta granted her only a barely perceptible nod.
What can I help you with, Meve?
The war, my dear. The one being fought outside the walls of your castle.
Greta smiled to herself, then intertwined her brittle, ring-covered fingers.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
It is a vassal's sacred duty to serve her liege, and
my liege is King Willem.
Greta calmly retorted.
Against whom you have raised arms.
Willem is a usurper. He unlawfully stripped me of my crown.
The Council of Peers deprived you of your crown.
Greta said, pursing her eyes into thin slits.
Fearing you would drag this realm into a senseless war. A fear which, it is now abundantly clear, was well-founded.
I have returned home a victor. I defeated the Nilfgaardians in Angren.
Due to a stroke of good luck. You think defeating Caldwell means you can defeat the Emperor as well? Madness, my dear Meve. And my men will not die for madness. Leave my home! Begone from my lands!
I shall go,
said the Queen.
but I shall return here once I win this war. And I shall reckon then with you and your house.
Meve kicked her spurs and set off at a gallop, sparks flying where horseshoes met cobblestones. For long afterwards, she silently mouthed a litany of curses aimed at the Oberts and their old Margravine.
Oh well.
Quest for death is yours, my queen. We'd rather have an accord with the Blackclads. Get on with them. Quest for death is yours, my queen. We'd rather have an accord with the Blackclads. Get on with them.
Willowhain.
Meve now reached Willowhain, a settlement she knew well, for it lay near Waldenrad, where in peacetime she would go to escape her queenly duties and enjoy the thrill of a hunt.
Pheasant, grouse, and partridge in abundance. You will see,
said Meve in muted excitement, pivoting in her saddle to face Gascon. Alas, it appeared the war had ravaged even these woods. Where life had stirred and grown tall before, only resinous trunks remained. And the village itself had lost its quaint allure, surrounded now by a double stockade, a golden sun fluttering above it.
Bastards couldn't even let the damn trees be.
Gascon seethed. A dismal scene, her once cherished wood, and it weighed heavily on the Queen's spirits. Waldenrad had been a place removed, where she could rest and forget the weight of her crown. Reynard's voice roused Meve from her sad reverie.
A Nilfgaardian garrison holds the village,
He said,
We ought to drive them out. Avoid any surprise later from the rear.
Give the order to attack, but none is to play the hero. We shall breach or topple the stockade together. Senseless to perish so close to home.
Reynard nodded. Moments later, the Lyrians rushed forth and attacked.
The Battle of Willowhain. Meve recalled her first hunt in Waldenrad nearly 20 years ago. She was young, naive, and newly married to Reginald. Now, the forests had been razed, Reginald was dead, and Meve shared little in common with the starry-eyed girl who first arrived at the Lyrian court. Shortened battle. Shortened battle. I always say it out loud because I've forgotten before in the past. Okay, well, I want him. As far as a single unit goes, well, that's actually okay. I feel like this won't come into play too much. And this is only useful. Oh, it'll be fine. Okay. This is good.
The time has come to purge these devils from our homes! Follow me!
Ha!
Ha!
Life is mine now!
Yeah! Strength all allies for 1. Bye-bye.
Ha!
I smell a leak.
Light them up! Nope. Ugh. Hey, knickers.
Wise choice.
You mad? Don't shake that!
Bye-bye. Oh my god.
Order!
Oh, good. Let's see what I get. Is there any reason that I wouldn't want to do that? Yes, there is. I prefer to have a lot of drummers or a lot of slingers. Well, slingers aren't blitz. So this one's for the slingers. Okay, that's fine.
Army's a waste of time for them like me.
Oh yeah.
Again and again and again.
You should die now. Good, good. Who self by number of units near points add after your turns. I'm trying to start to play ability.
bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Ow. Well, this guy survived. Another one here. That's fine. I'll deal.
There's not to reason why.
Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
Oh, I'm out of room already. That's insane how fast I ran out of room.
Of course I'll manage. I can need a full week.
A highly curious case.
Be able to place 2 guys? Not if I get lucky, I should be able to. Yeah. Perfect.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Okay.
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Egreto dum anime est, spes est.
Wah wah.
Rivia is ours! Ours!
When the battle dust had settled, Meve instructed her soldiers to gather Willowhain's inhabitants. Upon spotting their armed liberators, the common folk cowered in terror.
No longer need you fear.
The Queen shouted.
No longer must you worry about homes and loved ones. The war's nearly done.
Of a sudden, a villager dropped to his knees and raised his hands to the heavens in supplication.
Tracker! Guide my queen!
Meve broke off oddly, baffled by the man's outburst. And then it dawned on her. The Rivians of Willowhain had been driven away. Taking their place, Nilfgaardian settlers brought in to transform the near-subsistence plots of local peasants into great estates producing for the Empire. Reynard managed to grasp the essence of the Nilfgaardian peasants' frantic pleas.
They wish to stay. They've come to love the land. They pledged to renounce their emperor, swear allegiance to you as their rightful ruler. They...
Meve had stopped listening. She turned to survey the hamlet. The walls of the huts freshly whitewashed, tools neatly arranged, flower beds well tended. A young girl of 6 or 7 summers peered out from her hiding place in a sunflower patch.
Your Majesty?
Asked Reynard, having noted that Meve's mind had wandered.
What are your orders? What shall we do?
They can stay on 2 conditions. Tell them. For 15 years, they'll pay double the tax. And if any of the previous inhabitants return, they're to be given their huts, lands, and any crops produced in their absence without delay.
The Nilfgaardian settlers accepted the terms with relief. Meve soldiers with markedly less enthusiasm. As the force left Willowhain, the troops made a show of knocking aside any food or drink the peasants offered.
Hail Reynard, Meve! Here Gloire! Gloire and Lyria and Rivia! Eslain Kere, Cher Lane, Marantaich.
Yeah. Thanks. Rivians, I know many of you are hesitant to take up arms for fear that Nilfgaard cannot be defeated. I, Queen Meve, have already many times disproven this fallacy. I have soundly defeated black-clad forces amidst the flames in Adirn, the snows of Mahakam, and the marshes of Angren. Until this moment, these victories were unknown to you, but the truth can no longer remain silent. The Nilfgaardian Empire is a colossus that stands on feet of clay. Together, we can bring it to its knees. Woohoo! Woo! Yeah! Oh, it's gonna be close. Oh, wait. Gimme. That's mine. Thought you can sneak it past me? No. This belongs to your queen. What did I miss? Ah! Oh well. There's 2 buried treasures still.
Let me tell you of Ravenkluft, a quarry Meve passed by. A quarry with a dark history. For years earlier, its wall had collapsed, burying dozens alive. Scholars summoned from Oxenfurt were unanimous in their findings. The rock was fragile, further digging would likely cause slides. Meve had heeded the scholars' advice and closed the quarry by royal decree. Yet now, as she neared it, Meve could hear the even tap of pickaxes. She dispatched scouts to investigate. They returned promptly, their faces sullen, their cloaks blanched with a fine limestone dust.
Quarry's open anew, Your Grace. Nilfgaardians. They've got folk in the pit working it. Appear to be from the surrounding villages.
Interesting. Their engineers have found a way to render it safe. Secure the walls.
I'd say that's right unlikely, Majesty. Judging by the fresh graves we saw.
The Queen then turned to Reynard, as ever at her side.
Reynard, what do you advise?
As a soldier, my queen, I'd advise against any kind of assault. The terrain's hard, unsuitable for a fight, and we've little to gain from a victory. As a man, however...
Yes?
To leave our folk in chains, in that death trap. It wouldn't be right.
If I were to calculate in heart and mind, keep note of gains and losses...
began Meve.
I'd bend the knee to the Imperials, just as Willem did. But bloody arithmetic won't dictate my course, for I do what's just. I do what's right. Follow me!
Her troops followed without hesitation, swords in hand, their hearts afire.
The battle at Ravenkluft. Meve had expected easy victory. From her scouts' reports, she learned the Lyrians held a considerable numerical advantage over the invading forces. Yet the Queen had not foreseen one critical Nilfgaardian strategy, the use of chained captives to fight opposite their own countrymen. Optional, eliminate all slave drivers. Short battle. I need... I can always get more units. The problem is... That's fine. Draw the top card from your deck. So that can actually get me pit traps. Interesting. Not really need the decoy.
Those Horsons. Forcing my own subjects to fight us.
Wise choice.
Okay.
Ah!
Damage an ally by 4 and increased other allies. This guy will kill my units.
Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
Order!
Again.
As you wish, my lady.
Slingers.
Life is mine now.
Your Grace, if we begin killing the overseers, the laborers will turn against them.
Okay. Cool.
This could hurt.
Again and again and again.
That will do.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
Oh.
Ah! This one's got spirit.
Keep being mean to my people. So I will be mean to you.
Sod it. Sod it all.
Pointy end upwards, right?
Oh, Lady Margarita told us of this.
The overseers are dead, Your Grace.
The Lyrians handily dispatched the Nilfgaardian overseers, more trained in the ways of the whip than the sword. Those who survived now found themselves shackled in the very chains they'd forced the peasants to wear. Peasants. Oh, unfortunate souls. The cruel labor in the quarry had taken its toll. They stood before the Queen, shrunken to skin and bone, clothed in tattered rags, their eyes reddened by dust. But in those eyes burned a brilliant fire.
Muzzle.
Your Grace, them black-clads treated us like dogs, stripped us of dignity. So we beg you, give us arms. Let us march neath your banner. 'Tis a chance at revenge we seek, we want.
Reynard leaned towards Meve and spoke in a scarcely audible whisper.
Majesty, they've nowt. Not boots, not even foot wraps. To equip the lot, train them, would cost a small fortune.
You got lots of money.
'Tis true. They've nowt to their names.
Said the Queen.
Have few skills to offer and little strength. But to look in their eyes is to know they'll never flee. Never throw down their arms. Such recruits are worth coin in any amount.
Emaciated, downtrodden, the peasants met the Queen's offer with gratitude. They relished the thought of facing their tormentors in a fight.
Such troops are worth more than their weight in gold. Emaciated, downtrodden. Dregs of gold.